Good evening, everybody. Bees all day on the Monday after NAHBE. So we're here in the Shenandoah Valley. Glad to be home. Spent a week down there in Kentucky. It was a good week. I had a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of new people. Um, we actually sold out by 1 p.m. on Saturday. So that was a good thing for us. Sold all the new stainless steel that we previewed at the show. And thanks to everybody for coming by and saying hello. And it was good to see you. Glad to meet some of you. I can put faces with names now. So tonight in the Shenandoah Valley, it's 35 degrees and clear. Now, Saturday when we left, we were a little late getting out of town, but we had to fight snow all the way home until we got just the other side of almost to Charleston, West Virginia. And then into West Virginia for a little bit, we were fighting some snow up in the high mountains. So, but I'm going to tell you what, it was a good week. We had fun. And thanks, Chris, for the comment on the crew. We did have a great bunch of people with us this year. We had Barry and Judith with us, and we had some good help packing up. Ryan Peabody helped us pack up along with his dad and a couple other people. So I hope everybody else had a good time. There's Ryan right there. How you doing, Ryan? Good to see you on here tonight. Are you working tonight? So it's been warm this week here in the valley. It just turned cold Sunday when we were coming back that morning. My brother-in-law called and said, "Hey, it's cold here and the wind's blowing." I figured it was going to be cold and wind blowing. So, but we got through it. Truck is parked. Yes, it still has some stuff on it. Hi, Dinah. So, we did well. Yeah, it was a lot of fun with seeing all the wrecks. So, did you see the guy that was coming down the mountain in the U-Haul truck behind his U-Haul trailer behind his truck that jackknifed and ripped the wheel off the back of his truck on 64 Clay? And I was wondering how he got turned around like that. So, we had a good dinner. The No Life Beekeepers dinner was a lot of fun. I don't know how many of y'all were there, but we gave JW a hat with a coon tail on the back. Hey, Icy Mountain. And JW's a good guy. He took it in stride. He actually went home a little bit early. And then we had dinner at a Japanese steakhouse on Saturday night with Melissa and Tom, and I think it was about 23, 24 of us. Other than that, at this Japanese steakhouse, and of course Charlie was there. So, yep, it was a good time. Was had by all. So. Next year we'll have to do breakfast. I found a good little breakfast or a good little restaurant. And there's the man, the myth, the legend, Sawmill Charlie. So we were looking for something to do before everything got started on Tuesday, and we went out to lunch and found this restaurant in Old Town Louisville called the Service Station. And it was Southern food. And I'm going to tell you what, that's some of the best food I had down there in 3 years' time. So Charlie learned how to catch rice Saturday night.
You know what?
Can't hear you, Charlie.
Yeah. You know what? When I was cleaning the car out this morning, I found rice in the seat of the car. It must have been I must have sat on some of it on the chair, which actually I did.
You must have. But
so what did you, I've been a little under the weather, but
Yep.
So
So, how many of you entered the honey show on here? That are on here.
did I get married? No. So I don't know what is camera ain't right.
There's Flower Street. Hey, Brian, did you taste my cream honey yet? I'm waiting for some feedback on it, buddy. Hey, Larry, how are you? So what was your final judge's card, Larry? What did they finally tell you? Red Creek entered the show. Did you win a ribbon? Didn't know I had any what?
Yeah, probably your creamed honey.
Probably. Wow, you're out of focus, buddy.
I know.
I know I haven't been drinking.
It's starting to focus in.
There you go.
So, how was your trip home?
Well, it was Clay and I were just talking about it. We got away a little bit late Sunday morning.
What time did you get out? 5 or 6 or 7?
No, we actually left about 8:00.
Okay.
And it was just, again this year, it was just starting to spit snow at the hotel. So I had watched the weather, and over on 65, the road was covered.
So is that going down out of Charleston?
That's the one that goes north up towards Cincinnati.
Okay.
And down to Nashville.
Brian from Ohio up there, he said he was bugging out the night before Saturday night because they said it was going to have ice and snow up north.
Yeah. So we started off across 64 and we didn't make it very far. And we ran into snow and the roads were covered.
Well, we must have got through there about it. Well, we left at 10 minutes to 6.
You made it through before it got bad.
Yeah. And
so
we got out there. I'll say we left at 10 minutes to 6. We stopped for breakfast at McDonald's at 7:30. When I turned, it was one of them things where you turn off the road and then there's like a little alley road and then into McDonald's. Well, it was glazed over with ice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still had traction. So we walked in, we were able to walk in. And I'm thinking to myself, why don't you have something around here, man? They got those hired guns with salt trucks and everything like that. And so we got done breakfast, got back in the car. The interstate was still clear and it was spitting, pellets and snow. We just kept on going. And we stopped and got gas before around Huntington area. Before I knew from Charleston until Beckley, there is no gas stations.
Yep.
You're out in the boonies. So I wanted plenty of gas.
Yep.
So I filled up. So we got into Charleston, and then we went down. What's it? 64 south, and 64/70 or whatever it is. 77.
Yeah, 6477 down. That's the toll road.
So we were approaching the first toll plaza, and here the whole air is just white. I said, "Is that fog or is that snow?" Well, it was snow, but it wasn't sticking. The ground was sort of white, and the roads were wet and whatever. And everybody was, trucking right along, and got onto the other side, got through the other toll plaza, getting towards Beckley. Everything was fine there, just wet roads, sort of. And then I don't know, you got on past Beckley and you're up and down, up and down, up and down. And we hit one of those mountains going up the hill where we did see a snowplow. He was pushing like 6 inches worth of slush off
Yeah.
to the center media. And but the roads were, we had it wasn't covered, it was more like slush, and you know how you have the trail where your wheels are, and it was all clear. And then that was like you went over that mountain and you got away from it, let's say 3 or 4 miles, and then everything was done. And then we stopped where you stopped at the Virginia rest stop as soon as you got into Virginia.
Yep.
And then we took care of business there, and then on down the road we went. And after that, it was fine.
Yep. Hey, JT, good to see you in here tonight, buddy. You missed an adventure. So we came through, we were in Kentucky, and didn't really see. Saw the first accident in Kentucky just before the Daniel Boone State Park.
Yeah.
Went up that mountain, and it was snowing so hard. At one point, I looked down. I was doing 15 miles an hour.
Really?
Because I couldn't see anything in front of me. And we were just poking along. And I got behind another truck, and we split the center line on the interstate. That was the only way we could keep from running off the edge of the road.
You got hit hard.
Yeah. And then came over, dropped off that mountain, and went down to the bottom and started up the next one, and it stopped snowing. Road was covered with snow, but it wasn't snowing anymore. And so we got over, and I looked up, and here comes a pickup truck right in the left lane coming right at us.
And what was coming after you? I was reading the comment.
A pickup truck coming right at us. And got past that, and then saw.
How was it coming after you? Because I mean, it's a dual lane highway.
He was in our lane, on our side of the road, coming at us. He went down the wrong ramp.
Oh, geez.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. He was going to get killed, and he stopped, and he backed up. I guess he backed out in the lane that we were traveling in. I don't know if he got turned around or not. I really don't know. And then we got into West Virginia, and that's when we saw the rest of the accidents.
Well, when you went in where the area where the most windy, twisty area was,
yeah,
in between the toll plazas, did they?
Yeah.
Was it covered or what?
Oh yeah, it was covered.
Did they know what a snowplow is out there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they had snowplows pushing, but the roads were covered. And one guy had a Chevy pickup with a U-Haul trailer behind it, and he had jackknifed it. And he jackknifed it so hard that it ripped the right rear wheel right off the axle. So
the other thing we did was we passed a pickup truck and had a trailer, and it was all tied down. There were some Hilco boxes on it.
Yep.
So
I passed that guy too. He was sitting on the side of the road when I passed him.
He was, well, I guess we passed him. He was behind us.
Yeah, he was sitting on the side of the road when I went by him.
Was it a B? And did he have a lettering on the side? B, some kind of B company or whatever?
Some kind of B club or something.
I don't know. We just kept on chugging right along and got out of it. And I figured, going down, we're getting out of the mountains.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't stop anywhere, and we hit a lull in, I want to say, near Ashland, Kentucky. Hit a lull, and then I pulled in Flying J because I needed fuel. So I got fuel there, and then went from there all the way to the Virginia line before I got fuel again. Yeah,
well, once we got fuel, I'll say either Huntington or the other town that you're talking about.
Yeah.
One of them towns in there. It was before. I didn't want to get into Crofton. I wanted to get into. I said, we're getting it. You had those areas where you had flat areas where you get up, you could go off in there. And then you had the other ones where you had to get off the Clover and go into town and all that stuff. So,
Rob, you need to come on screen. So, did you see the new travel plaza there on 64 Charlie that you missed before?
yeah, well, see, we got off prior to coming into 77 to try to get into Beckley. It said gas. And I'm like, we're going and going. I said, where in the heck is this gas station at? Because I'm figuring, you go at the end of the street. Well, it's like a bypass around Beckley or something. So Rob said, yeah, we got to turn here. And we went down and around and finally found the Sheets. We were on the upper end of Beckley, I guess it was, on Main Street or something. We got those Sheets, got gassed up, and then we kept on going north to where we turned to the left and got up on some kind of a road and bared off to the right, and then there was a travel plaza right there.
Yeah. So Rob wants me to ask you a question, Charlie.
What's that?
What, peanut butter and cheese snacks?
Yeah, I eat that all the time. And usually, I put a little bit of mayonnaise on there too.
Yeah, we hit that rest area, and I said, "Oh, looks like all they have is vending machines." And Charlie goes, "Oh, that's okay." He opened up that back door and had that cooler, pulled that out, started spreading that peanut butter and cheese. And I thought, well, maybe I wanted something to eat too.
I'd have made, 2 slabs of cheese, put peanut butter on there. I did have mayonnaise there, but I wasn't going to take the time. And slap the other pat on top of that, and you're good to go. But now my problem with it is if I eat bread, I get sick. So,
well, we all give Charlie a hard time about his potato chips and his popcorn. So we got to give Rob a hard time about his gimpy knee now. And he gimped around the entire thing, and I don't think he was ever in a bad mood. And we have a new name for Charlie and Rob, the odd couple.
So I will tell you this. A couple of people said, so how was your ride out with Charlie and stuff? And I stayed in the room with Charlie. Charlie is the perfect gentleman. And, I think I tore meniscus in my knee. I had a shot of cortisone in my knee on Monday before we left to go out there. And it hurt. There's no doubt it was hurting. The one morning I couldn't bend my knee enough to get it up to get my socks on. Charlie goes, give it here. And so he took my sock and actually put it on my foot for me. So he's a sweetheart. So I don't care what anybody says.
And I gave him curb service everywhere I could.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And that's Charlie's personality. Charlie's a great guy.
Well, I was paramedic for 15 years and firefighter and all that stuff. So you learn all that kind of stuff. Putting socks on, old folks, whatever.
Yeah, it was good. I think the biggest surprise I had was the first night. I woke up in the middle of the night and I looked over, and we're in a room with 2 double beds, and I just kind of looked over to check on Charlie, and where Charlie's head was supposed to be was his feet. And I was like, what's going on? And his head's down where his feet should be. And then he said in the morning, he thought the bed was sinking. And so all the blood was rushing the other direction. So he changed the direction in the bed. And then the next night, he slept the same way. But since he had a little bit of sore throat, he thought it was from the air conditioner. And when I looked over, he had all the pellets stacked on top of the air conditioner to shut it off. So the air conditioner wouldn't blow. I said, well, Charlie, we can turn it off on the wall switch. So it was fun. I had a great time. It was good.
Well, the biggest problem was when first night was, I don't know. I think what it is, my bed's got a little bit of a lump in, or it's been broken down, I'll say, but I got to have my neck kind of up, and my airway was compromised that first night, so I had to get it around to where I could finally get my head up and neck and way I could breathe, because I got up the middle of that night and I was panicky. And I mean, I could breathe, but I was panicky. And so once I went outside actually to help, for the cold air to breathe, and then got back in, and I switched things around, and there was some of them great big. I always bring my own pillows, and I had some of them big pillows that the hotel uses, and I kind of used that to prop my back up. So I got through it, but I was so glad when I got home yesterday. I pulled out the suitcase and the food and put it away, and put some clothes in the wash machine and dryer. 8 o'clock, I was gone. I was in bed. I never got up till 9 o'clock this morning. So anyway, but that's how it went. I had a great time. I mean, this year we had a great No Life Beekeepers dinner, and that was a great Wednesday night. Was really nice. The venue was really nice. I had been to the venue before, the year before, when they had the Beaks and Brews, and I went through, and I don't know much about the interstate out there, so I didn't really get lost. So I took and mapped it through the town and around, and so Rob, he fixed me up on, and this new car had some, last year I didn't have GPS and stuff unless on my phone, and I'm a visual person, and so this new car's got one of them big screens. So Rob fixed it when we were going over. I guess it was the second night. We got the thing turned around so you're looking at as you're going instead of reverse, on the screen. He fixed that for me, and then after that, I got to used to listen to it and watching. It told you to get in the left lane. If it was 3 lanes going someplace, and so it made it a lot easier. And I got around the Beltway. It was like 5 or 6 miles to exit 5, and got off. Once I got off, I knew where I was at from last year, and that made it good. And then we had that, and then, well, our first night, all of us got together at Cracker Barrel next door, and then that was the second night, was our dinner, and that was really fun, seeing everybody, getting to see Todd. I've known Todd for 3 years on the internet, and finally got to meet him in person this year. I'm out there, and then what did we have the next night? Was it Cracker Barrel again? I think it was. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think Cracker Barrel for 3 nights in a row, Charlie. I think you had chicken and dumplings every night with fries.
Yeah, I know safe food, so I know to eat that. It's safe,
Yeah.
So, and then and luckily we had our GPS running again, good, and we got out of there and went. All of us met over there at that Texas Roadhouse. That was on Friday night, because normally I go to Texas Roadhouse on Friday night.
Right.
And what I get there is the steak and shrimp sidekick and all that. So that's normal for me, and then after that, we went to the hibachi grill over at the Indiana. I'm like, Indiana, I said, we're going to another state someplace.
Yeah.
But we kind of realized that that river that goes past where the in town there, you actually go and you're in another state when you get over there.
Yeah.
Then I got to thinking about it. I told Rob, I said, now if we went the other way across the river, I think that's Illinois or something. That's another state over there, I think.
I don't know. It might be Ohio.
No, that's Ohio's up north. I don't know. Rob and Melissa, what is, isn't it, if you go the river, does Louisville border 2 different states? You got Indiana on the north side, and on the west side, is that Illinois? So anyway, we did that. I never been to a hibachi grill.
Yeah, that was a good choice by Melissa and Tom to go there. That was the most fun I've ever had eating dinner out with a bunch of people, was going to that hibachi grill. That was really great. So there
Yeah.
was somebody asked about food here at NAHBE. I ate food at NAHBE once this time, and I bought three chicken tenders. Three. That was it. No French fries, no drink, just 3 chicken tenders. And the lady looks at me and said, "That'll be $14." And I went to hand her cash and she wouldn't take it.
Nope.
She had to have a credit card. So I paid her, and I took that food back and I set it down on the table, and I just sat there and looked at it for about 20 minutes. I wanted to see if it was going to turn into a gold bar, because it cost me $14.
Yeah, well, I ate there 3 days in a row at lunch because I had, the one time you said, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Well, it's 4:30 and I haven't eaten anything since the hell was it 7:30 in the morning, I guess, for something like that." So
Oh no! Wow.
I got a cheeseburger, curly fries, and a large drink, and that was like $27.
Jeez. Food was outrageous in price there this year.
Actually, let me see. I got it on my phone. I took a picture of it. And
hello, Mr. Tom.
Hi, guys.
Okay, here we go. Ribeye sandwich, $15. Brisket sandwich, $14. Cheeseburger, what I got, $11. Hamburger, $10. Jumbo hot dog, $8. Drinks, 32-ounce like soft drink, $7. Curly fries, $7. The only thing I can say is the guy, he says, "You've been in the last day I went up there and got my meal, and it was $19 and something." I'm like, I kind of cocked my head offside. He says, "Buddy, you've been here every day." He says, "Your drink's free today." I'm like, and all that. So
Popcorn was free, Charlie.
Huh?
Popcorn was free.
That's why I have them. I should have went out to the car like we used to do and go out there and have a cheese and peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich.
Oh, brother.
So is Melissa in there with you, Tom? Or is she sick?
She just walked into the other room because she's been coughing. She started to come down with something like the last day, so she must have picked something up. But it's mainly a head cold. Sounds like what Charlie has going on. She was a little bit run down while we were out there, but I'm like, could be a little bit of the fact that you'd wake up really early and you didn't go to bed till really late, and then you're basically going all day.
I think like for me, like today when I got out here and it was, I don't know, maybe 40 degrees. I wanted to make sure I didn't get sick to go out there.
Yeah.
So I had my regular ball cap, and then I put a stocking hat over top of that to keep my head good and warm. And out there, I used my beekeeping suit, or my Salmer Charlie hat, and I didn't have a stocking cap, and I could feel it wasn't keeping my head warm. And I'm wondering whether that had part of the problem. And I just sort of had a scratchy throat. But once I was up and running, I was fine. Just like today. Once I got out of bed and cleaned things out, then the rest of the day I was doing fine.
Yeah.
But I will have to say that one thing that I've done in the last 6 months or more is I started taking a vitamin C every day. And when it comes to getting sick like this, instead of getting really sick, it's a lot milder and a lot shorter of the sickness problem. So it does work. The doctors and stuff had said that for years.
Yeah, Uncle Junior, I'm sure it was a germ factory down there like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you just can't dwell on all that kind of stuff,
No, you can't. You just got to go and do it.
Live life.
Hey, Todd. I'm glad I finally got to meet you in person.
He's
And
a
I
pretty good
shook
fella.
So
Hey, so Charlie, what? I mean, I missed the first part of what you had going. You guys had going on here. When did you start to feel rough, or when did you start to feel run down?
no, I wasn't run down at all. In the room air, I was next to the heater air conditioner thing, you know, and it was blowing air all the time, you know, cold, sort of cold air.
Mhm.
All you had to do is turn the thermostat up.
Well, I wasn't, but you know, that made me hot. And I don't like hot. I like it cool when I'm sleeping.
Hey,
I
you
had
paid
the
for the
heat on the
too.
whole time I was there.
Well, I know you do. I mean, you got to have some serious heat. But so anyway, that air was blowing on me, so I blocked all the vents with these great big pillows this place had, and I don't know. It seemed like the bed was sloping down, or at least that's the way it felt like me. My airway was sort of semi-blocked or whatever, and the first night I got, I don't know, I'm not paranoid, you know, just
Concerned, cautious.
huh?
Concerned,
just-
cautious.
Yeah, it wasn't I couldn't breathe, but I was like nerves are on edge, you know, and I had to calm down and all that, and then finally figure out what to do here.
Sometimes stress
Yeah.
will cause illness too. You know.
Huh?
Sometimes stress will cause illness too. You know.
Well, I felt my nerves are, you know, on edge, you know, and I went outside and just kind of breathed and got my air levels up. And yeah, I am Clay. I am picky when it comes to food and things like that. Yeah, I have to say that.
Hey, Bill. So you mentioned in there, I was chuckling in the background before I came on, and you said you got that chicken strips and you're waiting for it to turn into gold.
Yeah.
I missed that part. Did it happen?
No, it didn't happen. No. It didn't turn into gold.
No.
Nope.
Well,
'Cause
mine
I
turned.
ate 'em.
Mine turns into something really special in the toilet. I know that.
Yeah.
But
So
it
did
wasn't
mine.
gold, and it didn't make any
Because they were full of grease.
Melissa had got some because you all have heard Melissa before. When she doesn't eat, she gets shaky and all this. I mean, I can go all day long without eating, but the first day I didn't have anything. I think she had some leftover, $8 million chicken.
Yeah.
I went ahead and mortgaged the house, so I'll be paying that off for the next 30 years for the chicken. But wish me good luck, guys. Hopefully, you have a good honey year so I can pay that part off. The equipment wasn't the problem; it was the food. But she had like a part of a chicken strip left, and I ate that. And she's like, "You want to go get something?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "I remember when I ate that food before." I'm like, wasn't good. But the chicken strip was actually okay. Worth $14? No.
No.
Did they have your head over a barrel? Yes, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Did people buy it? They absolutely did. I bet you that place earned $1 million in food revenue from what they were charging there that weekend.
Yeah. Well, I can say this. I had more blueberry muffins and more crackers and cheese that we brought in than I have in months.
So, Bill, I just thought about something. So, remember Wednesday night we had like 15 pizzas left over from the party.
Yep.
I bet if I could have got by with it and had that pizza there and had it warm, I bet I could have paid for all 4 of our entire trip costs going out there with what they were charging. There's
no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, but what was problem is our first, let's see, we got in on a Tuesday. And then Wednesday morning, Rob beat me out of the room and he was down there eating what was that thing? A bagel or something, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had a bagel and orange juice because I thought it was
orange juice. Oh, look, this is free over here.
complimentary breakfast.
Then he got a bill for $4.50 or something like that for a bagel and a little juice jar.
That was at your hotel.
And I was sitting there and I says, there's McDonald's around the corner here. I said, well, let's go.
So you had 2 breakfasts?
I know, Tom, you probably don't like McDonald's, but I like their
hate
breakfast.
that
They're
crap.
pretty good.
Oh, man.
So Tom, what was your favorite part of the whole trip out back?
I don't really know if I can say I had a favorite part other than the people, if I'm being honest. If there wasn't one product to be sold there, and one speaker, and it was just a bunch of us getting together, I'd probably still go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, really. So I mean, honestly, I mean, the party was really fun because it was kind of I don't want to say icebreaker because we all know each other, but it was kind of like the start of the weekend. You know what I mean? So all of us just getting in town, all of us shaking hands, like Rob, you and I have talked many times online, but we've never met each other face to face. So I mean that was good. There's a few people I met that I've never met. I had never met face to face before. That was really fun for me.
Yeah.
But the conversations are where it's at for me. I enjoy the people and just having fun with everybody. So,
Well, like
If
JW
I thought I
was,
could get away with bringing a microwave, Tom, I would.
well, it's like for me, I mean, I got to meet Todd for the first time after 3 years being on the internet with him. And then you had, well, even JW. I don't think I met him last year.
Oh, you didn't?
I don't think so. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just didn't recognize him because I didn't see the mule behind him.
Well, I'll say this about JW. The first time I met JW was my first year as a vendor down there. He took his name tag off and he came strolling into the booth like he owned the place. He sat down beside me and we were talking. He looked at me and he said, "You don't know who I am, do you?" I said, "Yeah, I know who you are. You're JW." He says, "Well, thank you." He said, "You're the first one to recognize me."
But
Oh, boy.
I didn't. I hadn't seen Jade. Like I say, once I seen him and then I recognized him, and
Yeah.
I don't know. There was just like I say, the party was the location, which I had been there with Brews and Beaks the year before. It was a great location. Everybody wasn't. Everybody had plenty of room. We had. I enjoyed the fact that the vendors were there. So quite a few vendors showed up there, and
Yeah.
we had 40 some door prizes like that, was it?
I'll be honest with you, Charlie. I lost count of the door prizes. It could have been.
And then you had the raffle or whatever you want to call it, with the raffle tickets where you put them in the box, and see whether you can win.
Yeah.
And
those vendors really came through, so when we got in there, I had called Chris well in advance a few days before or earlier in the week. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, Chris, I got a question for you." I said, "I don't want to be a pain here, but I'm like, I have to pick up some raffle items and some door prizes from some vendors." And I said, "I don't know how to get them." I said, when I get out there, I said, "The only way I know how to get them is to go into the thing on Wednesday." And I'm like, I'm not set up to be a volunteer. I'm like, when we get in town, we're gonna have our own, stuff to deal with. And I said, "Is that gonna be a problem?" He's like, "No, not at all." He goes, "When you come in there," he goes, so a few of those guys I know really well. Steve Amos, he's always in the back. Randy Tarhill, who's in here, I know him really well. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart here. Jeremy Lindsay, I don't think he's on here right now, but I know him really well. So we each know each other face to face. And I'm like, well, if you just let him know I'm coming in, that way I don't get tackled by Randy Tarhill, in the back, and then get, put up against the wall and handcuffs by Steve Amos. Most of these guys are big like Rob here, big dudes. And he's like, "No problem. Come on in." So when I walked in there, he's like, they all say, "Come on in. It's all good." So I spent like 2 hours inside there just getting stuff from some vendors. Gigi, who's BRB. Oh my gosh, I can't remember all the ones. John J.L. Apries gave me some stuff.
Comfort Pro, the ones that are ticketed, you had
Comfort Pro. I picked up his stuff.
He was there, I think, before you got there or whatever, helped set up whatever.
Yeah.
And you had Bill put a what type of hive is it?
A nail.
Yeah.
We had Matt with his fondant.
Mm-hmm.
We had a vendor there that put up a mite washing kit.
That was Hidden Hollow.
And then we had a guy put in a really sharp looking heavy duty walnut grafting stand,
Yeah.
frame or whatever you call it. And then somebody had some honey related bath and body lotions and stuff like that.
So that was John Westcliff. I don't know that I've seen him in here. John, he was the one that brought that from Colorado.
Then Michael, he did a lot of some frames, cases of frames,
Yeah.
fondant. Wasn't there a bee suit or something too?
Mr. John
Yeah,
put,
that was Comfort Pro's
John
bee
put
suit.
the bucket alarm in there.
That was John J.L. Apries.
And
Michael Mahar, not only did he donate those 30 frames, he also donated the dog bed. So he donated a lot of product. I mean, so did Bill. You guys
we had Apame there. I don't know what did Apame donate.
Yeah.
That?
So Arda, who's one of the salesmen for Apame, he was there. He was there, present there at the dinner. So good turnout.
Oh yeah, we had at least 150, 175 people.
Yeah.
We had plenty of room. I don't know what the numbers were. We set up for 170 or what was it? Rob counted 200 or so.
The tables were set up for 224, so we had a little bit of extra room in there. They weren't all completely filled, but I'd say if we didn't have 175, it was really close to it, you know. So we could probably hold a few more next year, so we might be able to bump it up a little bit. But they had said if we hit, and I thought it was a little bit less than that, but when I found out later on, I misread it. If we hit 200, we have to hire security. So I have a thought, guys. If we go more than 200, we're going to get a hat and a shirt for Sawmill Charlie that says security, and we're going to give him a belt and a baton.
Oh,
no!
I got a fire badge I can put on.
Whatever it takes to keep us from having to spend the extra, because it was going to be a several $100 fine if they found out that we had more than X amount without security. Which it wasn't like a bad part of town we were in, so I have no idea what the idea behind it was.
Well, maybe
you know what we need to do next year if we're going to have above 200, like 3 or 4 of us just bring a jacket with security printed on the back of it.
That's what it's going to take.
Yeah,
that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, and Lynn from Greater Barber. Yeah, this was our party. We had a big shindig, I'll tell you, and all that. Fun. It was fun.
Hey, Brad.
And then we, for anybody who didn't go, we had 50 pizzas at least there. Pepperoni, regular pizza. We had breadstick, pizza, or I don't know.
The pizzas were really good. I thought they were really good.
We had salad. We had condiments to go with the salads, the sauces, and things. And then, did you guys just buy all that stuff on the opposite side over there? You had cupcakes, and you had pepperoni, and you had salsa, and you had vegetable tray and fruit tray. You had grapes and things like that. And
so so that was part of the orders we had to pick up that we were talking about. So, I mean, there was no joke. Melissa, the back of that, did you all see the back of that Melissa's Ford Explorer? I don't know if anybody
did. I got
a
picture. You showed me a picture of it. I mean, it was till the roof.
Oh, it was packed. Like, I don't know if you could have squeezed sand inside there. It was packed. So and this is what everybody paid for with the donations. So the sweet and unsweet tea, the lemonade, the bottled waters, the crackers, the fruit trays, the cheese tray, the pepperoni. There was some granola bars. There was some trail mix. There might have been a few other things in there. The salsa, the chips. All that was what you guys paid for and Melissa brought in. Now, and there was a few desserts like cheesecake and things like that Melissa had bought too. But like the cupcakes, that was brought by John Mitchell with Westcliff out of Colorado. He ordered them from a bakery. There was also the gentleman, and forgive me if he's in here, man. My mind was so boggled with names. They brought down some pretzels and then the mustard, those Philly pretzels. A whole big box of those. So all of that, most of that was what Melissa bought, but there was some donations that were over there too. There were some other little desserts and things like that a couple people brought. So thank you to everybody who did that. And honestly, I'd heard Mrs. Sears say, with all that food over there on the side, she goes, that probably would have been enough. And I'm like, I'm like, try telling that to Melissa, who's sweating bullets that people will leave hungry. I'm like, any woman that I know that has any bit of Southern hospitality will cook 10 tons of food for, a ton of people. Right. So it's just, she didn't want anybody to go away hungry.
I mean, and you gotta, everybody here, you gotta appreciate Melissa and Tom for the great organization of all this, getting it all together.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. And it was just a well-run, organization, and everything.
Tom, tell everybody that wasn't there how much money was raised for the Hives for Heroes.
So originally, there was, oh my gosh, hold on a second. Can I ask Melissa that so I can be accurate?
Yeah. So did you enjoy yourself, Todd?
I did.
Well, good.
I did. First time being there. There was a lot to do. I just went around. And,
I didn't, we said, we had a conversation. What were you getting together for dinner or something? I didn't quite understand what we talked about.
Well, what was it? Gosh, I can't remember. Wednesday. I don't remember half the stuff.
I know it was a whirlwind because everything was happening. Everybody was going everywhere, and you're running around with your yellow cowboy hat was flashing like that, and you got your gun up in the air, smoking everybody. And,
I'm not kidding you when I say I must have talked to a couple hundred people.
Yeah.
Both days. I mean, each day it was a couple hundred people. So just by walking around and squirting that thing in the air, it was fun. I'm glad I was able to help Michael out.
Here's his hat.
Blow it up, Bill.
Yeah, that was with Mr. Ed and the Hilco. And you know what's so funny is John was walking around in there, and he kind of looked at me sideways, like, "What are you doing with that thing in here?" But I wanted to go and
blow it up, Bill. Go to Tom's thing at the bottom and click the square. Just in the tray at the bottom, click the square in Tom's area.
I'll tell you.
No, that's yours.
Yeah.
Click on Tom's. There you go. There he is.
Yeah.
He's got the new smoker out there that I got one ordered.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yep. That's Todd and Tommy.
Yeah. I was so busy doing that. I didn't even get around to, all I wanted to get were t-shirts because I really couldn't buy anything unless I had it shipped back.
All right. Blow him up again, Bill.
Here's the back of Melissa's Ford Explorer.
Good Lord.
And that's not even with the pizzas that came back. They were stuck to the roof if you left that place hungry on Wednesday night, that was your fault.
Yeah, it was your own fault if you left hungry.
Now, Tom, did you guys get all them pizzas? Or did they deliver that stuff?
No. We didn't pick them up. They delivered all that stuff. So we had specifically worked it out. So, if it was supposed to start at 6:30, we were able to get in a little bit earlier, obviously, to set things up. 6:30, I'm like, you know what? People are going to shuffle in a little bit late. I'm like, let's not have pizza right away. Let's wait like 30 minutes for people to shuffle in. And that way we're not all eating like cold. They're not all eating cold pizza because you already have to worry about, oh my gosh, I don't remember how many pizzas were there.
Yeah, I was it. I mean,
was a bunch
you had stacks of pizza boxes at least 3 foot tall.
It was crazy.
Yep.
I didn't get a picture of that.
And you had at least 4 or 5 stacks and everything. And it was pizza and these breadstick that you went in there and got and all that.
Well, you can't really see it, but if you look behind me,
blow it up, Bill.
It only shows a small portion of it there, but you can see the blue boxes in the background behind my head.
Yeah, look at all of them on the table and on the floor.
That's the empty box.
Yeah, those are the empty.
20% of it's there that you can see.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
tried to do a
So,
live video, and
I didn't
I
get
don't
a
know.
picture of all that.
My video was timing out. It was the first time I ever did that too, and using my new microphone system, and it was it was getting blurry and stuff like that. Wasn't the I'll get better at it. Yep, if you've seen it there, Lynn said she seen my video, so and all that.
I didn't buy one T-shirt when I was there. I was having so much fun just talking with everybody. I really came on, jumped on here tonight just to say what an honor it was to meet everybody that I know on here, but that I've never met in person. I met a few of you already last year at the EMBA conference in St. Louis, but I mean there was everybody else was at NAHBE, and that it was so much fun. But I had a blast. I had a blast meeting everybody, and if I had to make my way in there somehow with the bodyguards, it'd definitely be Steve Amos and Randy, because that's all you need to know to get in there. Those two, and you're in. So
yeah. Hey, Bill, go up to the comment Melissa made at 7:48, and everyone can see what the numbers are. She put them in the comment section.
Now, Lynn, about turning your phone horizontal, that was one of the problems I had. It would not let me turn it horizontal. It had to be up.
7:48 or 8:48.
I'm sorry, your time is 8:48. Mine is 7:48. So yeah, 8:48 your time.
And now I can do it horizontally when it comes to 3-minute videos. I'll have to play with that.
It's only maybe, I don't know, Bill, maybe 20 comments up or something from the bottom. There it is.
That's what the dinner brought.
Well, so if you look at it where it says online raffle, that was the one that Philip had done, and that raised $3,005. And then from the raffle items that were on those couple of tables up there, that raised an additional $2,325. So from the original donations to the dinner itself with pizza and all that stuff, Melissa had said any money left from that we will donate. So that's where you see the $125. So when you add those three, you're at 54 or 55. So they were able to present all that to Hives for Heroes this weekend. So the group here raised that much money. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys go to the Friday night Hives for Heroes dinner that they had, and they presented the check there that evening?
No.
Yeah, that was the one night that we didn't go out to dinner because we were whipped.
Yeah. We already had dinner plans with a lot of St. Louis folks to go, what we've done the last 2 years down there. So we had stuck to that. I wish that we could have been both places, obviously, because I think there was a lot of people there. I seen a couple of short videos. One of them happened to be Grammy's. She posted a video of it there. Didn't get everything, but I seen just a little bit. Looked like it was a really good time. So fun event.
I'll tell you what, that Cuban restaurant, holy cow. There was a lot of flavor in that food. Now, maybe my steak knife was a little dull, but I kind of made it through that. But man, the flavors in that food were just unreal.
Yeah, they were good. What was the name of that? Hey, Melissa, if you're listening, put the name of that restaurant in the comment section. It's La something or other. I don't remember now what it was.
What steakhouse did you go, Todd?
I went with the Missouri crowd.
Okay.
It was La Bodiguita de Mima. I'll type it in if she hasn't.
Oh, Melissa says we're giving her dinner spots away.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I won't type it in. I'll let you type it in if you want.
we had a huge table there in the back, and I don't know. I'm honestly, it was loud inside there. Of course, I'm surprised that our group didn't take over back there, but there were a lot of groups back there for sure.
But the food was just amazing. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, Melissa just dropped it in the bottom. So if you're can pronounce that, knock yourself out.
Bodeguita.
Bodeguita de Mima. Mimo.
Mima.
Mima. Melissa can pronounce that. She can do it better than I can.
Yeah, that was fun. And talking about food, guess what I have to do? It's it's that time of the evening. I just gotta. I rushed home from work and heard you guys on when I was driving and changed and wanted to jump on and say thank you, everybody I met. Everyone was so friendly and it was so much fun there. So I'll be back.
How did your flight go?
Oh, I didn't get my head didn't hit the pillow here until 1 a.m. So
was there any lag time on the getting from one plane to the next? You were worried about that.
Yeah, no, I made it, but they held the plane in Dallas for over an hour because it was the last flight here that night. There was like 12 people that their connection was late, so we just sat in the plane for over an hour.
Really?
But I didn't get home, and my head didn't hit the pillow until 1 a.m. And
Wow.
that was 4 a.m. St. Louisville time, and I had woke up at 8 o'clock that morning. So it was a 20-hour day for me. I was pretty wiped out yesterday.
Next year, you'll have to just take off another day from work.
No, next year I'm going to leave on Sunday.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is you don't have to be back for work on Monday, right?
Yeah, I'll probably take that Monday off too. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I'll tell you right now, Tom. Guess what I was doing over the weekend?
I seen that you had gotten back and gotten in your bees and put fondant on.
No bee work. Otherwise, I'll just say it. I was looking at flights to St. Louis.
Yeah, what'd you come up with?
Well, you might see me there. You might.
Don't be playing no games with us. We're not doing that.
Right?
Hey, you're coming or you're not.
That's right.
I want to keep you guys in the dark a little bit, like a mushroom.
Hey, you're acting like a high school girl right now. Just tell us what the deal is. Quit trying to make us
really
guess.
Well, then I'm not going to go.
All right.
All right.
You know what? In the words of JW, fine. We don't want you there anyway. That's what he would say.
Well, yeah, I need to call him and see if he could give me some curbside. Although he didn't give me curbside service at the hotel or at the airport when he picked me up. He made me walk across traffic to get to his truck.
You know what? You're lucky he even stopped. For being honest.
Yeah.
So I already talked to Matt and told him that you had interest in coming, and he's in here.
Yeah.
He said he'd pick you up from the airport.
Yeah.
So there's no excuses here, man.
Charlie and I can pick you up too.
I'm probably going to get there. I just I've got to make sure that the work schedule is,
Well, just clear your desk and say where we're going.
Well, that's what I'm just trying to do. I have a project due in 4 weeks, so if I finish it, I can get out there. If not, I have to keep working on it.
Hey, I thought you were independently wealthy. What's this jazz you're talking about? Work.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, really.
So how did your how's Matt's fondant doing for you?
Well, they ate it all up, the stuff I put on last week, and so I put more on again yesterday. But I'm only doing a pound at a time, so it's not that much for them to take. But I bet you they probably finished it in a few days.
Right. We're gonna have 50-degree days for the next 2 days, and then Sunday it's supposed to get in the 30s and snow.
As a matter of fact, UPS delivered another fine box of fondant from Sandy Valley Honey Company today. So I'm gonna have to bag that up. And
Dodd has a really good idea. He said it'd probably be cheaper to take a UPS plane. So if you want, we can box you up.
Yeah, really.
And,
kidding.
We can put fragile handle with
I got
care.
the perfect size box for him too.
I've seen enough UPS planes this year at the airport. At the hotel, that's all you saw flying by was a UPS plane.
Yeah, those dudes were big planes too. I don't know, what were those big DC-10 sitting over there on the tarmac?
Yeah,
those are L1011s that have been grounded.
Yeah, there were L1011s there too.
Wow.
So Castle Highs, Brian, did you make it? I know you left Saturday.
Yeah, he was down there.
To get it ahead of the possible snow and everything, which you probably did get some snow going north. Hopefully you got into town before it hit. And there's Cajun.
Yep.
Got together with all him.
Yeah, I saw Brian down there. I walked past him, patted him on the back, let him know I saw him.
Hey, Bill, you sold out of everything into your booth on Saturday?
The only thing that I brought home, I think, was maybe 25 Enel boxes.
Yep.
And the rest of the stuff was acorn stuff that they had left that I bought from them.
Mm-hmm.
Our booth stuff, and 50 B-Bite patties and 50 super fuel fondant.
Wow.
Yeah, Brian, I'm the one that walked past you. You were standing there talking to a couple people. I was coming from the honey show. I walked past you and grabbed you on the shoulder and kept walking. I didn't have time to stop.
All right, guys, I got to go.
All right, Todd.
Start up the.
Well, we'll see you here in a few weeks.
Well, yeah, we'll see you in February, Todd.
Are you guys going to make it over there?
Yeah,
I think as long as it ain't snowing.
as long as it ain't snowing real bad.
Todd, you have no idea how many people that don't live in Missouri are going to be there. I mean,
Well,
I'm just going to say this: if you don't come, you're going to be like the only one.
It's
No,
you got to. I look at it this way.
I'm pretty much there. Just count me in.
I look at it this way. EMBA is like the little NAHBE for Missouri. What's what it looks like to me as far as the classes and all this different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a lot of fun, both B information wise and being able to see people.
Yeah.
All right, Mark's going to be there, so I guess I'll have to be there. Oh, Tom's going to be there, but the one I'm really curious to listen to is God, Kent Williams is speaking, right, Tom?
Oh, he is, yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be a big listen for me.
Absolutely. He taught me how to wrap years ago, and he is the true master beekeeper.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll be putting some little cones on my ears and pointing them towards the stage too.
Yeah, I think he's given 2 talks, if I'm not mistaken. I need to go back and look at my schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, Troy.
well worth it.
Good to see you at the show too.
All right, I'm out of here, gentlemen.
All right.
See you guys later.
Later.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks again. I had fun. It's such an honor to meet everyone I never met before. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys.
Good to see you, Todd.
Oh, JW just dropped a comment as soon as he bails out.
Of course he did.
Did anybody go to Hillco and get one of these things?
No.
Yeah, actually, we did.
What is this thing? It's got a
Turn it
It's a
over on the bottom.
speaker.
It's a speaker. It's a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
A speaker for what?
It's a Bluetooth speaker.
It's a speaker for your
It'll
phone.
hook up to your phone so you can listen to music.
Is that what it's for?
Yeah.
So, Charlie,
Yeah.
it comes with this little cord.
Yeah,
In
I
the
got
back
that. I hooked it
is
up
where
on
you
the computer.
Plug it in,
Into
and
my
then on the
phone.
very top, that's the button where you turn it on at,
I figured that part out.
and then that's your little speaker. So you'll have to pair it with something that's Bluetooth. So maybe your phone, whatever, an iPad, anything.
Yeah.
Well,
like
the
that,
cord is just electrical cord, right?
correct. Yeah, you can turn it on without.
Well, it's got to charge it, I guess.
There you go, Charlie.
If you don't know, you don't need one.
I don't know. I couldn't figure out what the hell it was for. So it's just a speaker for your phone?
Yeah. Or a speaker for if your laptop speaker goes out, you can plug it into your laptop.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well, that's
Those are the little Hillco branded ones. It was kind of a neat little idea. So he had these apparently, and he had some that were just like little night light things that were kind of somewhat similar to this.
that's what I kind of thought it was.
Well, he had 2 different ones. He put out a video on it. We didn't go over to his booth for a while, honestly. We had already pre-ordered stuff, and I didn't make it by there for the first, I don't know, until maybe sometime late on Friday or something. And then this is all they had left was a little Bluetooth speaker. I kind of wanted the little nightlight thing better because I get scared at night really easy, So now I have to just leave the lights on, Bill. That's not as good.
Well, Troy, since you live right close by, you got to come to the No Life Beekeepers party. That's where we're at. That's where the meet is.
Yeah, that's where everything's at.
He's only about 30 minutes away from the place. Actually, we could probably all go to Troy's house. That would be the best.
That would be, hey, yeah, that we could have our party there next year.
Yeah, because they're only 30 minutes away.
Got a lawn big enough for 200 people, Troy?
Yeah.
Probably might have a little bit of problem parking, but if we pulled up a couple party buses, that might work.
Yeah, either that or just park on the front lawn.
Hey guys, I actually realize what time it is. I have to jump off. I have a board meeting to jump on to, so I might try to follow up if you guys are still on in an hour. So
yeah, we'll be here.
Sounds good. Great seeing you guys. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
All right, later. Tom's gonna pre-record my bee classes. Are you giving class? Yeah, come over. He says, all right, we'll take you up on that.
You don't know what you're getting yourself into, Troy.
Maybe we can do that next year when we get in town early.
Yeah.
The next day we can all go over to Troy's house and hang out.
Yeah, he crashed on his couch for the night, man. Save us some hotel room.
He's got 50 beehives over there.
Yeah, he'd be glad to have us over there.
And all. Looks like you had a nice place over there. Nice wooded,
Yeah.
block. The bees have a wind block and that kind of stuff. Yeah, we can go there. We can eat his food and all that stuff.
Yes, I have vaporizers in stock, DC. You need one?
Uh, 58.
They go out at the end of the week. So you should have it by mid next week.
So we might take you up on that, Troy. Something for us to do the next day. Instead of just we went to the that was one thing that I took Rob to the baseball factory. He liked that. The only problem of it is, like, let everybody know, don't go there at lunchtime because everybody's at lunch. I should have known that because that's what I complain about here all the time. People coming in here. We didn't get to see all the different people, running the machinery and stuff.
Right.
All that. So, but anyway, like I say, I had a wonderful time.
Yeah, we all had fun. I think I got to meet a lot of people I hadn't met yet, and it was fun.
Now, my question is, like by Saturday, I got to the point where, I was done as far as looking at anything. Yep, I'm going to EMBA, Lynn. Me and Bill are going to drive out.
You can ride with us if you want to, Lynn.
I guess they still got tickets left. I don't know. But I don't know. It was like, I guess I got tired. I seen everything I wanted to see. It seemed like there was a lot more just woodenware vendors there. Everybody had woodenware, which it's kind of repetitive. Hey, Mark. Yep, good to meet you too. And you get to the point where, like, man, do I really want to come back here next year? Other than the fact that we had a great time for the social aspect. It's probably, you have to take us 2 days. I figured, from Bill's house to Louisville is 8 hours for sure.
Yeah.
I checked that out. And then it's another 4.5 hours from Louisville from what Tom said. So figure 5 hours there. So it's going to take us about 2 days to get there, I think. Rob, EMBA, Eastern Missouri Beekeepers Association.
Yeah.
And they put on a smaller venue. And
yeah, it's a nice small conference, Brad.
And there's a beginners area, and then there's the intermediate advanced area, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
And it's a short-lived thing, but there's a dinner that you go to, and then what is it? Friday, Saturday, or is it? What is it?
It's Friday, Saturday. Dinner is, I think, Thursday night.
Thursday night dinner. Friday and Saturday is the classes.
Yeah.
And
there's 3 tracks: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And the intermediate and advanced are kind of together.
I'm gonna check. How you spell Missouri?
Capital M, capital S. Missouri. Yeah, MS is Mississippi. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to put it. There it is in the chat, easternmissouribeekeepers.com, if anybody's looking at that. And events. Programs, yeah, paper. Let's see if I'm looking at it here now. Save the date for the next thing. Workshops, February the 20th and 21st. Beginners and experience, not so much 3 different levels. I'll look at the workshops. It's a 2-day event.
Yeah.
It's at the Holiday Inn. There's a beginner's beekeeping course Saturday the 21st. There's the experienced beekeepers course Saturday, February the 21st. Who is it for? The intermediate to advanced beekeeper focuses areas: honeybee biology, queen rearing, pest control, and colony behavior. We're going to have speakers as Greg Rogers, who was at NAHBE this year. He's the one down in Asheville, North Carolina, that Bob Benny works with. Yeah. Kent Williams, he is out in Wingo, Kentucky. He's got his own beekeeping club. You got this guy here I've never heard of, Brian Zavada. I think it's Flower Street Honey Farms in Denver, Colorado. I think he's going to be talking about how to make candles or creamed honey, one of the two.
Do you think he's very knowledgeable, Charlie?
Huh?
Do you think that one's very knowledgeable?
Yeah, I think he's pretty good at it. I've got some of his candles. Best looking. You don't even see any seams in his candles.
Well, that's good.
And Jim, somebody, he's from the beekeeping area in St. Louis, Frank Rovich. He's a science guy who was at NAHBE also. You got Lewis Bartlett from Better Bee. He's science guy. And then you got Ken somebody, I don't know who he is, and John somebody, I don't know who he is.
Brian, we had to do that. You know that, right? Hey, Mark.
Then there's a new intermediate beekeepers class on the Friday on the 20th. So
Yeah, that was the one he said we needed to go to.
It's a Friday and a Saturday, the 20th and 21st. So it's an intermediate class. That would be for us.
Yeah.
They do have a honey show on the 21st. Vendor show is the 21st. You've got Easy Peasy Beekeeping. You got Comfort Pro, Hive Alive, Daydan, J&R, something Apiaries, Apame, Hives for Heroes, Yes Honey. That's at Drink. And you got it is the Bees. I'm not sure. Maybe that's a local outfit. I'm not sure. And Friday events. EMBA Beekeeping Banquet at 6 to 9 p.m.
That's on Thursday night. That's on Thursday night, right?
Friday night.
Friday night. Okay.
That's what it says here.
Okay.
Buffet dinner with beef tenderloin kebabs, chicken parm, and peanut Alfredo, whatever that is. Penne. That sounds like pasta to me.
Penna Alfredo. It's pasta and Alfredo sauce.
And then crispy Parmesan potatoes.
Yeah.
And broccoli. Let's forget about that. With a cash bar. Entertaining bee-themed talk, which I believe that's going to be Kent Williams. And you got to buy that. The banquet is sold separately, but we're going to that, or at least I am.
Yeah, I paid for it too.
And honey show certificate training. Oh, there's some of the other classes on Friday on the 20th. There's a honey show certification training. That's given by the guys, people that were at NAHBE. And you got EMB hotel discounts, supporting new beekeepers. Eastern Missouri Association also supports new beekeepers through cooperative purchasing of new colonies and queens, and field workshops at our teaching facility. That was just something. So to give everybody a idea as far as cost goes, February let's go down to the 20th. That's a Friday. The intermediate add-on class is $40. The banquet is $48. And the Saturday class, which is the experienced workshop, there's the beginners and workshop, and then there's the experienced workshop. Each one of them is $115. So that kind of gives you the idea of what it's all about.
So do you think we can go out there and crash that banquet and make it like No Life Beekeepers dinner?
I don't know. It
I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go. You know.
Yeah, we're going.
And Kent Williams, I've been around him. He taught me grafting many years ago, and he's got some really nice dry humor and all. And if you've never met him, he's just a down-to-earth good old boy from Kentucky. And he also puts on a free beekeeping class for anybody who wants to come from anywhere. And you know, if you're brand new and you want to learn how to install a package, he'll go out and shake a bunch of bees, and we'll go out here and we'll do a hands-on how to do it. I don't know what a stupid screen. And if you're doing grafting or whatever like that. I mean, if you want to check Kent out, go to Bees in the Weeds. And he had a 4-part video. The first 2 parts were, for me, excellent as far as information and stuff. And so he's a really good guy, down to earth. Far as I'm concerned, the true master beekeeper. He does queens, he does honey down in the deep south. He does almond pollination, I believe. I don't know what he's doing it right now, but he seems to be. And egg laid, didn't see it NAHBE. And all that. It looks like a really good time, I think. And there's a lot of folks here in the chat, I think, are coming out and coming to this thing. Mark Miller says, Kent's class is in April 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And I'll say this, I've not been there, but the basic idea of it is he lives out in sticks. So if you got a camper, take a camper or take a tent, because that's the closest hotel areas, I think, quite a bit of ways. I'm not sure. He said that years ago when I first met. And all. So anyway, that's what's been happening. Other than the fact I got a little bit of a head cold out of it. But
so you brought something home with you, Charlie.
Yeah, I did. Well, the problem of it is like I say, I've often had the problems when if you go from hot to cold or cold to hot, that transition period there, that's when I get sick. My body can't seem to cope with that at all. Father used to go around with, it'd be hot that day and he had his, heavy coat. Oh, why didn't you take that off? Nope. If I do that, I'll get a cold. Sure enough. I think I should have kept my stocking hat on, toboggan or whatever they call them, toques.
Yeah.
And Canadian, they call them toques. At least I know the one girl did up there. And kept my head warm. I probably wouldn't have got sick, maybe. So, anyway, that's what's happening here. Did you buy any big items this year, Russell? No, I did not. When it comes to stainless, I don't need anything. Boxes and stuff like that. I'm done buying all that. I've been downsizing some. Bought. Let's see, what did I guess the one thing I did buy I've been watching this thing. I've been looking at it for 5 years, going ever since NAHBE Life, and it's this here view screen that you put on your veil, where it's a plexiglass so you can see through it clear without that screen in your face. So I said I'd go ahead and buy that and put it on an old veil so maybe I could see the larvae that I want to graft better, make sure there's nothing floating in there, which means they're at the right age. So I bought that, something small like that. And let's see what else. Nothing really. Other than that, some of that kind of stuff. You gave them away, did you, Clay? I don't know. I'm going to try it out. We'll see how it works. The main thing of it is you want to always put it above your nose so it doesn't fog up.
Yeah.
And actually, the reason I bought it, I see one of the people in my club have one, and I'm like, and I tried it on, and I was like, I'll try it. And picked up some equipment from Bob Betty for a friend of mine. He's supposed to stop by and pay for it, maybe tonight. And Rob, he bought 4 or 5 boxes of of 4 boxes of pollen patties, and he bought, I think, a box of glass. And I did buy. I bought the half frames for my Defender hives, which is Apame that I happen to have from Michael 21st Bees. Those half frames. Bought that. That was one of the purchases. And no, anything else I can think of. But did that. I know Rob bought some frames from him just to try him out, I guess. And I guess that was about it. Nothing else really exciting. Biticides have already got all that kind of stuff in stock. So that's about it. As far as any big bulky items, no. Last year I bought frames Bill, and I got plenty of them.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I bought 2 cases, then bought another 2 cases, then picked them up later in Virginia. And so I got plenty of frames for now. And that's about it. Kind of got down to that point. I know a lot of people have a problem about where they'll. I mean, Cayman years ago said when they first started that maybe you could save enough money on product to maybe cover your ticket.
He's back.
And
our boys had to take a break. I was listening. Yeah, Charlie, tell them about your bee bites.
I bought some bee bites. I'm gonna check them out and see whether or not they work.
Yep, they work.
Pollen patties, actually.
I bought 2,000 pounds worth.
Really?
Yep. And I bought 2,000 pounds of super fuel patties, 1 pound patties.
And then what was quite interesting, and I don't know, is that Apis everywhere you go, you can't find Apis Biologics. It's out of stock. But yet at or at the show, here's Apis Biologic. And I'm like, it seems to be connected with what's the place in Canada? What's that company up there? Canadian supply house up there. Seems to be connected with that. I checked out this here stuff that Cayman had on. The guy was talking about where you spray the bees and it's supposed to Glade, they are heavier, those frames. What was I going to say now? I forgot now. Anyway, they were there. I didn't need any of it. But they said they had a United States you can buy it there, as far as just a straight package of it. I don't need any. Yeah, Dodd says, let's see, bee bites. I made cell builders last year, and they loved them. Well, Mr. John, it has the bucket alarm. He put them in. He lives in Florida. I'll say he had a frame or 2 of bees. He said it was usually anybody else would throw them out on the ground and be done with it. So he put a bee bite on there, and he come back, I don't know, so many weeks later, and they had eaten all that stuff. And they really boosted them up. So it seemed like to me, there's a lot of controversy about, is it snake oil and that kind of stuff. And, I heard the same thing about Apis Biologic from people that didn't know really much about it. And I had that first year that I had bees from the bottom board to the roof, and they were boiling. I took off the lid at the top. I haven't had that same dramatic increase, but I've also say a lot of it has to do with your queens, and you got to have. I've learned in my 2 years worth of experimenting that I need to start requeening on a yearly basis if I want powerful hives that are going to make lots of money. So let's try them out and see how they do. And I happen to know the guy that works for the place.
Yeah, I had a nice long conversation with Slava, the owner.
Who I don't know that person. I just know what's his name from Maryland. So
yeah,
he treated me right since I told him I had to have a Maryland discount. So he treated me decent. And so I'm gonna try them. We'll see what happens. And I still have the pollen or the global patties I got for Bill here and last year, and they are compare global versus Man Lake. I'll take global any day of the week. They're soft and pliable, and they got apis in them, and the bees just love them. They're like Matt's fondant. You know how Matt crushes that fondant down, and it has that nice smooth, gooey texture to it, but it won't drip in, but it's there for them to eat without hurting their tongues and stuff like that. And that's how global patties are. And the bees love them. I'd put them in there in February, put a whole 1 pound strip in there, and within a week it's gone. And I used them here on that hive behind me there that's kind of taller than the rest. That was that queen that they made a queen. She hatched, and she actually got mated in late in the season. And she had a little bit of brood in there, and I put a patty right over top the brood. A week or so later, it was gone. Put another patty in. A week or so later, it was gone. About 90% was gone. And I put some super microbial powder in there. See how that does. I've been experimenting with that for the last 3 months or so. And they, I don't know whether that's, it's one of them things you can't really see a difference, I don't think, in the powder, but if I'm looking at trying to fight the viruses.
Right.
And I mean, I got good mite count, low mite counts, but there still has to be still a certain amount of viruses in there.
Yeah.
So if you can make,
I mean, those bee bite patties, I mean, they are about 3/4 of an inch thick. And
they're a pound patty.
Yeah, 1 pound patty. So you can cut them in force. You can cut them however you want to cut them.
It depends on how strong the hive is. If it's
small, depending upon the hive.
Now, for everybody to understand, now they also have the ones that look like a granola candy bar. They're called bee bites too.
Yeah.
But they're only like 4% protein, and the pollen patties are 15.
Yeah.
And I don't know what, they call them bee bites. They always say pollen. Well, they actually don't have any pollen in them, I think, is what they said.
Yeah, it's other proteins.
And they have the, glad they have, hey, Nancy, glad that they have the, what is that green stuff called?
Spirulina.
Spirulina. And then there's something else there. Something with a C in there. I don't know what it is. It seems to have some type of gut health that helps also in the gut health.
Yeah.
Along with some other stuff. But like I say, it's an experiment thing for me. And like I also say, beekeeping is a science experiment that never quits. You kind of have to sit there and try things, whether you're trying to manipulate your bees to do something or whether you're trying to feed certain things that maybe will help your bees. So,
yeah.
I don't know if I even showed you, Charlie, some of the toys and trinkets I picked up along the way. Mostly, I think I got them on Saturday. But I bought a box over, I think it was on Apis Engineering's table. And it's used for people doing instrumental insemination.
yeah.
It was a 3D printed box, and it's kind of neat that it had a pull-out tray halfway through. It looks like a magician's box, and you put a couple cups of nurse bees in the bottom, and there's a little feeder on the outside that feeds the nurse bees, and then you slide this tray across, and then you throw your drones in there, and then it has a trap door in the front to put drones in or to let them crawl out one by one. And the problem when you do II work and you're milking your drones for semen is that they die quick. Usually within a few hours, once you collect them, they're dying. And this is neat because because the nurse bees are in with them. He told me that they let them go. I think it was 7 days, and they did not have one drone die. He said they were kind of lethargic, but they were still alive. So I bought one of those, and then I bought one of those queen kits. That boy that does that 3D printing, and he has that 3D model of the worker stages from egg all the way to hatching. And I had reached out to him, I think around October, November, and asked him if he had something on the queens, and he said no. And somewhere along the line, he designed one, but he had them at the show for the first time. So I bought one of those. And then there was another guy. It was over by Hilco, and that guy had some 3D printed stuff, and he had some pushing cages. So those were used for when you introduce an instrumentally inseminated queen, you push her in like a 4x4 cage on top of emerging brood, and because that way it's a slow introduction, and she's confined to that area until she starts laying. So he had them, I think, 3 for $10, and that was a pretty good deal. So I bought them, but I did kind of get a little jacked when I got home because I have some of the 110 Pro vapes, and they have changed some of those pushing caps. The original ones just had a plunger on top that hold 2 grams. Well, they switched that now. It has a dial on top that you can, turn that dial and turn it from 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 4 grams. So I asked him, I said, could I get two of those for $100? And he's like, yeah. So I said, I'll pay cash. So he reached on our table and he handed me 2. I didn't take any look at them. I just grabbed them and dropped them in my bag, and we were chit-chatting. And he reached under the table and goes, here, he said, here's the old style. I'll just give you this one for free. It just holds 2 grams. I got home and opened them up. Then I have 3 of them that hold 2 grams in my bag. So I'm going to try to get a hold of the guy and see if I can swap the other ones out. But so I got 3 of the old ones and none of the new ones. I think that, and then the frames. So I brought drone comb off of Michael there at 21st Street Bees. And yeah, those are the heaviest frames I've ever come across. I think if you hit someone on the head with those frames, you could literally kill them. Those things are heavy duty. So, and they're heavy wax, which I really like. I've bought a lot of drone frames in the past, and I can never get anyone to get those things as heavy as I want them to be to draw them out. And
like the green frames from I've learned one thing: if you got them, you got to wax them.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, if you see the amount of wax on these frames are blue, but I'm telling you, they're heavy. I don't know the foundation. They're probably what do you think? 1/4 inch thick in the foundation part of it. I mean, they are unbelievably heavy. And but the wax, I couldn't get over even the amount of wax on them. So if the bees don't draw out on these, they won't draw out on anything. So Michael did a great job with getting wax sprayed on those frames. So I'm eager to get them in the hive here this spring and see how quick they'll draw them. But that was just some of the gadgets and stuff that I got along the way. But I don't know what else I got. But
well, let's see. I got stickers from Brian, Sawmill Charlie Bee Farm stickers with my saw blade with popcorn flowing down off the bottom.
So
I gave that out to a few people.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this, Charlie. I videotaped us over there at that Japanese restaurant. And when that guy threw that big flame out there on that grill, that big ball fire, I watched that. I watched in the video, you can see you backing up. I said to my wife, I said, we'll have to check Charlie. I said, as big as that flame was, I think we might have singed his eyebrows. Oh my. That was a hoot. I enjoyed that. I'd never been to a place like that. That was impressive. I like that.
Yeah, I got a video of him spraying that stuff on the cook, spraying that stuff on you.
Oh.
What was that anyway?
It was
So-
water, but it had a guy with it. He was peeing on you.
Yes. So the first time he sprayed that water, well, the second time he came around and he had a bottle. It looked like a ketchup bottle, but here it had string in it that was like a red string. So instead of spraying ketchup, and I wasn't paying it mind. And after he just sprayed everybody with water, I thought, that sounds about right. Now I'm going to end up wearing ketchup on my brand new shirt. But it was a joke. But
It looked like a squirt of ketchup coming out, but it
yeah,
It did, didn't it?
it did. So, but that guy was great.
That guy, he was definitely he was the cook, but compared to the other cooks that are around, he was probably the most entertaining.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was half cook, half comedian.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think besides the big flame of fire, I think when he got half the restaurant chanting "Charlie, Charlie."
Charlie, Charlie,
that was fun. Oh man, no, it was a good trip. Yeah, I enjoyed some of the talks. I didn't get in all the talks, but I did enjoy most of the ones I get in on.
We'll give we got that straightened out. I think about you getting the code in the email in the next couple months.
Yeah.
That you can go to and that thing you can go and look at every class they ever put on.
Yeah. I think that's what for me, if you're going there for the education part, I think you get your money's worth, to be able to walk away and watch every session that was put on. I know Will, he was in on the person who was talking about, apitherapy and all the different things that you can do with that. And it was actually, I guess, a 2-part. He actually texted me and said, "Hey, where are you at?" And I told him, and he goes, "Well, if you can get over here, like, I think you're going to really enjoy this." So, so I beat it over there. I didn't get to see the first session, but I did get to see the second session, which was, an add-on. So I'm looking forward to see the first. There was definitely some really good takeaway in the second session. Dealing.
You were telling me you had somebody who wanted apitheric bees, and man, they were ripping the people off something terrible.
Yeah, and I think it's a huge business. I'm looking into it to add it as my website. But yeah, so I got a person who's about a half an hour from me, and I want to say 3-4 times now they have contacted me in the last month or half. But this guy orders, I think it's 25 bees at a time, and they ship them to him in an oversized 3-hole queen cage. It's probably twice as long, so 3 inches. It looks like it's 6 inches 6 inches long. But he gets 25 bees. I think his order is $25 or $30 for those bees, plus he pays shipping to have them shipped to him. And he has Lyme disease, and he gets a shipment every week. So he's paying over $100 a month for 25 bees at a time. And so when he was getting contacted and said, "Hey, these folks are out of town, they're on vacation, what, blah, blah, blah," he wanted to know if I could supply bees. So I said, absolutely. So I was going out here, opening up my hive, splitting it, reaching in, just grabbing a small handful of bees and throwing it in his box. He's like, "Oh my goodness, that's like 100 bees. And he's like, "What do you want for those?" I said, "Give me $25. I said, "If that's what you're paying that guy, give me $25. So he actually is going to give me the legal disclaimer that he had to sign for this whole thing, and shipping box and the packaging. So I think here in the future, I'm actually going to advertise that, that I can supply bees for that. But he claims there's thousands of people all over the country that are buying these bees like that on a weekly shipment because, they have ailments. But he buys them, here in Pennsylvania, but they're being shipped from California. And he's been getting them for years.
Yeah. I guess
I mean, look in.
probably because since they're bees from California, they're probably organic bees. They don't have any. They're not allowing any. Pest. You can't buy Apricot in a tub out there because you have to have a pest sprayer's license.
Yeah, I don't know. They're a little weird about that. I know I've talked to some people when they're running bees, out there that they just go nuts if they find a fire ant, on the truckloads. And he says, and they actually have fire ants out there, so it's not like, it's a big deal. But they are very strict on a lot of things. And even if we talked about this before, if you're going to get, I think it was Varoxan. If you're ordering more than I think a 40 pack, you have to have a pesticide applicator's license out in California, or you can't order them. They're very weird on some of that. But and I bought a box of Nora, so I'm going to give that a whirl this spring on some test colonies to see how that does. So I'm kind of eager, and I did talk to those folks at Nora because I had heard rumor about them coming out with commercial packaging for that, for commercial beekeepers, and they did validate that is true. They said that's probably about 4 months away, and what they're looking at is having totes, so you'll be able to buy a full tote of Nora instead of buying.
You're talking about, you say a tote. Well, it's not liquid. It's in a pack, or it's on
no. So when you buy this stuff you're getting now, it's kind of like Hive Alive, where you get Hive Alive, it's kind of like fondant and the packaging, and you just kind of tear that open, and there's a section that the bees can go into that packaging and eat that fondant. I think it's got some Hive Alive mixed in with it.
One video I saw from Man Lake it was basically sugar water, and it was perforated, and you
Correct.
put it here.
It's sugar water that has this, contraceptive, so the mice can't reproduce, is in that sugar water. So they won't sell you what that ingredient is. So what they do is they sell you the whole mixture. So when you get that package, you lay that in there and you pull the tab back, which has, I guess, some perforated holes, and then the bees suck down that sugar water the same as they would as if you put a Ziploc bag in there and put a slit in it, and that's how you feed it. So so instead of buying that bag with the syrup in it and whatever that chemical is, you're going to be able to buy the whole tote and put the tote in your feeder and feed it to them in your feeder.
So you can just basically pump it off into the feeder, and they're going to drink it.
Correct. Yep.
I guess there's a certain amount for the feeder, and that's it.
Yep.
You don't want to feed them so much, a certain amount of it. All right. Well, that sounds actually more in tune than the bags.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're saying, what is it, on a 10 frame deep box, you need 2 bags. And I don't know. I didn't look at to see what the volume is in that bag, but it I don't know. It looks like it probably holds at least a quart, maybe a little bit more. So,
Now, like
I guess
he has to fill out a Formic Pro for a 10 pack. Because he lives in Cali.
But so we'll see.
Yeah, what they say out there in California, lands of fruit and nuts.
Yeah. I had that MRI done today on my knee, and
how'd it go?
I don't know. I meet with the surgeon next week, so he'll tell me what my results were. But then I went down to the big farm show there in Harrisburg, and honestly, I'm almost sold out of honey. I took at wholesale price a little over $5,000 worth of honey down there, and started this past Saturday, and it runs through this coming Saturday, and I'm down to about 2 cases of honey left out of all that. So the crowds were phenomenal. They said over the weekend it was elbow to elbow, and the crowds
Well,
the
every
crowd.
time I ever went to that farm show, it was elbow to elbow. I mean, you had to push yourself through the crowds.
Yeah,
That was one of the things I didn't like.
yeah, yeah. It was fairly busy today, and got to meet a lot of just nice people and stuff. I joked around, told my wife there was a couple of old ladies there. I'm guessing they were probably in their mid 80s, maybe older, and they looked a lot alike. And I said to them, I said, "Are y'all sisters?" And they said, "Yeah, we are." And I said, "Well, good. I'm glad that you two ladies can get out and enjoy the farm show and stuff." And I said, "Are you going to the rodeo this Friday?" And he said, "No, we don't think we're taking in the rodeo." And I said, "Well, I heard there's a mechanical bull over there." I said, "If you ladies want to get on that, I'd pay just to watch you ride that bull." And they said, "No, I don't think that's going to happen." But
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah, my cousin, he last time we were up there, my cousin, he rode a bull. He was bull riding up there, and he didn't last 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah. So, but no, it was a good time. A lot of people, years ago when COVID hit,
I mean,
they closed that thing down, and then our governor, when they opened it up, he came out like a week before they reopened it, and he just right on the national news and the local news said, "I think it's going to be a COVID bomb," and it scared everybody because he said that. So then, like nobody really went to it, but it has
Really?
absolutely rebounded now, and I had a free parking pass, so I thought I could, get in there and get up close, because, especially with my knee bugging me. But
Yeah.
I ended up, I bet I walked half a mile just to get to the building. That's how far out I had to park just to get in. And, but yeah, the crowds are really heavy today. But like I said, it was good weather. So, but
Yeah, it's something else when a politician comes out and says, "Oh, it's going to be a COVID bomb." That really carried a lot of weight in the past.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think it was smart, for them to do that. I mean, people invest hundreds of thousands of dollars to put on a show like that, and then he come out and basically sinks it for him. So,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. So,
Yeah, it is what it is, Rob.
but I've seen a lot of folks, a lot of girls down there today, Bill, had FFA jackets, and I kept asking them. I said, "Let me ask you." I said, "Are you going to be a future farmer, or are you just going to be a future farmer's wife?" And they laughed. Most of them said, "Probably just a wife."
Yeah, but see, they got to know what's going on so they know how to write the bills out.
Yeah, yeah. So, but no, it was good. I had a good day. Like I say, just chatting with folks. But like I say, I'm exhausted. I keep getting leg cramps just sitting here. So
Uh,
take it easy tomorrow for sure. But
yeah, I went to the doctor today. Um, it's all healthy. All the skin is all healthy on the toe,
good.
but it's not healing the way he wants it to heal.
Okay.
So I am restricted for at least another week, maybe two.
Hmm.
So he
Do,
really,
do they have it wrapped tight, Bill?
no, not really. It's kind of
Hmm.
loose.
Huh. I had a. I'm not diabetic, but I had an ulcer. I have bad circulation in my leg. I had an ulcer the size of a quarter on my shin, and I could not get that thing to heal. on my own. I did everything I thought I could do to get it to heal, and that thing was there for a year and a half. And they finally sent me to a wound clinic, and they wrapped that thing tight, and I mean tight, like you thought they were going to cut the circulation off on it. And they said, "Oh yeah, we got to wrap it tight because that's what actually causes the circulation to push harder into the area." And I thought, this is crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. In 4 weeks, they had that thing healed, and I would go in. They cut the ace bandages off of it, and they clean it, and then they measure it, and then they put ace bandages all back over it and said, "Come back in a week." I go back in a week. They cut it off again. They'd measure it. It was every time I went back, it shrunk and got smaller, and within 4 weeks, they had that healed. I thought, you got to be kidding me. I fought this thing for a year and a half, and you healed it in a week or 4 weeks. So I don't know. That might be something that at some point they may do that just to get it to heal quicker by, putting something on it so it's got a little more pressure.
Yeah, it's he's got collagen in it now.
Okay.
The collagen strips.
Yeah.
So he said, put it in there and use the collagen as the building block to get it to knit together. So it's just one little spot that's indented and it's not healing. So he packed that collagen in it.
Okay.
So,
well, hopefully it'll take over and heal.
Peanut butter and cheese.
Yep. And mayonnaise.
It's not just good for road trips. It's good for a bedtime snack.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, just like dig in there and get a couple good snacks and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Nothing like a little bit of protein.
Yep.
I've seen you eat that out of a jar. That's not a little protein. That's a whole lot of protein. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we've had a good time tonight, guys.
Yep.
Been a lot of laughs. We had a lot of laughs at NAHBE. So, and it's almost 10 o'clock. So I'm going to shut it down early tonight because I'm still tired.
I am too. I didn't know what I would get in here tonight either.
Yeah.
Like I got to work today and I just laid in bed for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I didn't get up till 6:30 this morning myself.
I didn't get up till 9 o'clock.
Well, thanks, Bill. Thanks, Charlie. Good seeing you guys again.
Yeah, and have a good one. Don't forget Friday night beach chat with Charlie, Sawmill Charlie. Nancy, I don't know if you're on this going to be on Tuesday night or not, Nancy.
Nancy got her knee.
Yeah, Nancy just finished up surgery. She's home recuperating from a knee replacement. Seems like all of us beekeepers have our surgery done during the winter, so we're keeping the doctors busy during the winter. So it was good seeing everybody at NAHBE. Y'all have a good night. Hope I see a lot of you at Eastern Missouri. Keep your fingers crossed. Knock on wood, we'll make it there. So good night, everybody. See you next Monday night.
I'm still up.